Hi, everybody, and welcome to this Introducing ACT Growth Suite presentation that we'll be going through today. My name is Stephen Jackson. I'll be taking you through the information that we have. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we start. So everybody will be on mute for the duration of the call. So if you do have any questions, please make sure to use the Q&A panel. Can we please ask that you don't use the normal chat panel, as unfortunately we can't respond whilst delivering the presentation. But if you use the Q&A panel, then my colleagues Joe Greenspan and Brent Milner will be able to look at these for you. Now, please do keep in mind we do have an awful lot of attendees today, and we do anticipate quite a lot of questions, so please be patient when you're waiting for a response as well. We are recording today's presentation, and this will be made available to you all later on. Okay, so just to introduce the presenters for today. As previously mentioned, my name is Stephen Jackson, and I'm a trainer at our Newcastle office in the UK, hence the accent. And I'll be covering off some of the specific features of ACT, including a few live demonstrations. We also have Joe Greenspan, our Vice President of ACT Commercial Operations, who's going to take us through some industry trends and demonstrate exactly why the new features that we've introduced to ACT are so very valuable for your businesses. We also have Brent Milner, one of our trainers from the Scottsdale office, helping to answer any questions you might have. So once again, please make sure to ask anything that you want in the Q&A panel. Let's take a look at the agenda for today's session. So we're going to begin with a keynote address from the ACT leadership, which will be presented to us by Joe, and we'll really see the value of ACT Growth Suite there. I'll then take you through some tips for growing your business using Growth Suite, helping you to really make the most out of the investment that you've made. We'll go through a few live demonstrations of the product in action, and we'll cover off the recent innovations that we've added with the V21.1 release, which came out just a couple of weeks ago. And finally, we'll end with a Q&A session where we'll take a look at some of the more commonly asked questions that we have in the Q&A panel and highlight just a few of the answers there. So without any further ado, I'd like to hand over to Joe now, who will take you through the keynote address.
Great. Thank you, Stephen, and hi, everyone. My name is Joe Greenspan with SwiftPage, and I want to thank you for carving time out of your busy schedules today to spend with us. It's really great to see such a very high level of interest and participation from our customers and partners, as well as people just getting to know ACT for the first time. So welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to share with you a bit about the evolutionary journey that ACT has been on for the past few years, and later the team will share some of the great new innovations we've recently introduced. But I want to open with a brief overview of what we see happening both in the CRM market, as well as a few key trends within small and medium-sized businesses in general. So to jump right in, it probably comes as no surprise that research shows the CRM software market is hot. There are solutions designed for various needs, various industries, and various company sizes, and people are getting value from their investment. But when you talk about marketing automation, especially in the small and mid-sized business segment that ACT has served for so many years, maturity and adoption is a good bit behind where CRM is. Many SMBs are not using a solution to automate their prospect and customer communications, and if they are, it's oftentimes a point solution that either doesn't work with or talk to other systems very easily, or it's very complicated and frankly hasn't been worth the trouble up to this point. So we see a trend where people are now beginning to look for CRM and marketing automation solutions in one-stop shop, where ease of adoption and ease of use are the critical drivers, and where the solution accommodates the way they work within their own businesses, whether they're in the office or out on the road, for example. Next slide, please. So another important trend we're seeing involves the evolution of what people are doing with marketing automation solutions once they've bought into the idea and have adopted the solution for a while. So in the early days, the focus was really on email marketing, which was very transactional in nature. So by that I mean the outreach was focused on one-time promotional type messaging and offers, the success of which was measured primarily by revenue generated from a particular campaign or a particular transaction, and that was often the end of it. Today we're seeing a rapid shift toward relationship marketing, which can be characterized as ongoing and very personalized conversations with prospects and customers, the success of which is measured by lifetime value, not just short-term revenue metrics. Next slide, please. So when thinking about the markets that ACT primarily serves, the small and mid-sized business segment, it's interesting to study how companies in these markets adopt CRM and how they adopt marketing automation technology. First, I want to share a story about a customer survey we did probably about 3 or 4 years ago to thousands and thousands of ACT customers. We asked people if they did email marketing in those words, and a majority said they did not. But when we drilled down and asked whether they send out customer communications such as renewal notices, appointment reminders, surveys, thank you notes, and things of that nature, a big majority said they did. So the point here is that in the SMB market, there's still some confusion about exactly what marketing automation is, while others can simply just be intimidated by it, which prevents them from ever getting started. But at the end of the day, it's simply just about communicating with customers in an effort to keep them informed and engaged in a very personalized way. So the key to both CRM and marketing automation, especially for folks in small to mid-sized businesses who are very busy and who often wear many hats, is that you don't need to bite it off all at once. You can start with the basics, as shown here, implement in phases, and realize value as you go. Next slide, please. So that takes us to where we are today, based on the journey that ACT has been on for the past few years, really a journey an evolutionary journey. First, we moved to a contemporary subscription model. Then we introduced ACT in the cloud, and most recently, we launched a powerful new marketing automation capabilities integrated with our great CRM in one single platform. So our mission in this regard is very clear. We're here to help you build relationships, maximize engagement, and drive business growth. And we do that by marrying our proven CRM together with powerful marketing automation. So next slide, please. So throughout the evolution, the journey that I mentioned, we have made sure to stay true to our roots, maintaining what we believe separates ACT from the others. And we like to call these differentiators very simply the perfect fit and the trusted choice. ACT is one of the few solutions that is purpose-built for small and mid-sized businesses. This is our DNA as a company, and we will never stray from it like some of our competitors tend to do. We know who we serve, and we will always stay focused on their unique needs. ACT is also a recognized leader, having served millions of users over many, many years all across the globe. And it's that history and experience that gives people, in our experience, the confidence that we'll be with them for the long haul. Next slide, please. So I'm happy to introduce the ACT Growth Suite, which is what we're going to be talking about on today's call and also sharing a demo with you of. This is the new all-in-one sales and marketing platform that we recently launched earlier this month, and we're seeing great interest in it so far. It's essentially the seamless incorporation of our proven CRM solution with our powerful new marketing automation solution, and it's designed to give small and mid-sized businesses everything they need in one to run and grow their business. And it's packaged as a comprehensive subscription offering, complete with product updates, expert technical support, and a number of subscriber-exclusive benefits that are part of our ACT Insiders program. Next slide, please. So getting a little more into the details, and you'll see a lot of this later in the presentation, the Growth Suite covers the 5 areas of functionality you see here, from customer management to marketing automation to sales pipeline management and very contemporary interactive analytics capabilities. It's all together in one easy-to-learn, easy-to-use platform, which is the ACT Growth Suite. Next slide, please. So here you can see the Growth Suite plans and pricing. There are 3 levels or 3 tiers of the Growth Suite: Professional, Premier, and Ultimate, and each of them includes CRM, the various levels of marketing automation functionality and monthly send limits, as well as varying levels of technical support as part of the subscription. The price you see here includes 1 user, and each additional users from there is $35 per month. if you go to our website, you'll see that we have a limited time promotion running right now and through the end of June. So be sure to check that out after the call. And I'll just close in saying thank you again very much for your time today. We hope you're as excited as we are about the ACT Growth Suite and about the continued evolution of ACT. And I would like to turn it back to Stephen for the rest of the presentation. Thank you all very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, Joe. Okay, so for the rest of the webinar today, we're going to discuss various tips that will help to grow your business by making the best use of ACT Growth Suite. Now, as we discuss each tip, we'll go through a live demonstration and we'll show just how useful Growth Suite can be for you. So the first tip that we're going to look at is how important it is to manage loyal, profitable relationships. Managing those relationships is really the first key building block of driving your business growth. ACT Growth Suite gives you and your team quick and organized access to rich customer details from wherever you work. You can keep contact details, emails, documents, notes, history, activities, and far more than that in one easy-to-find place. You can all share the same information as well. So if one of the users records anything, other users can see that information too. So we can all share the interactions that we have with prospects and customers. So whether a customer calls up or maybe you're reaching out to a prospect, you're going to have a comprehensive view of all of their interactions with your company in an instant right in front of you. And with all this really rich information, you're able to personalize conversations or campaigns because you know things like which products that they have or when their contracts are expiring, the last time you spoke to them, even down to their birthday and kids' names potentially as well. So we're going to jump into ACT now and take a look at how the program can help you to manage those profitable relationships. Okay, so for anybody who's unfamiliar with ACT Growth Suite, what you're looking at here is the welcome screen that you'll see when you first open the program. I'm using the cloud-hosted version for Growth Suite for the demo today. Now, the left-hand navigation bar here shows the various areas of the ACT program, all of which can be used to record and find that really valuable contact data. But all of the sections that you see here, they really begin with capturing the initial contact data. So, for example, if you want to do things like schedule activities or create opportunities or set up automated market campaigns, you really need to have the contact details first to unlock all of those powerful features. So let's take a quick look at the contact section. So what you can see here is the default contact view that comes out of the box, so to speak, with ACT. The business card section at the top here captures the standard information that you'll need about any of your contacts. So that would be who they are, where they work, how you can get in contact with them. Now, it's important to keep in mind that everything that you see here can be fully customized, including the specific fields, the colors, the background, literally everything. Now, just as an example of this, if I change to a different layout that we've got here, you'll see that it's completely changed. I've got a logo in the corner. I have different fields. I've got different boxes and tables. So all of this is fully customizable to make sure that you capture the information that your specific business requires. Now, this business card section does contain quite a lot of information on its own. But if you take a look at all of the tabs that we've got that run across the middle here, now again, all of these are used to capture very useful and business-critical information. And it's all about this individual contact that I'm looking at right here. For example, I can create and record details of any activities. So things like meetings or calls that I might want to perform with the contact. These will also record on my calendar so I can easily check up on what I've got to do for the day. I've got a section where I can upload and save any documents that are important for the individual contact, maybe details of quotes or invoices that you've sent to them in the Documents tab. I can record details of any potential sales in the Opportunities tab here. Also, any interactions that I have, any calls, meetings, any emails that I've sent can be recorded in the History tab. So I've got full information on exactly all of the interactions that I've had with this particular contact. Now, this is extremely valuable information because any of the users that do anything with the contact, they'll be able to record their history right here, and we'll all be able to share that and take a look at that together. You can even set up Growth Suite so that any emails you send through Outlook are automatically recorded on this tab as well. Now, whilst Growth Suite out of the box contains lots of different sections, allowing you to capture as much data as possible, like we can see here, it might be the case that you have especially complex data sets, or maybe processes that are unique to your own business, maybe even specialized industry practices that you need to bring into ACT when you first start using it. Now, with the Custom Tables section, which is a relatively new section of ACT, you can add any additional areas to the program that you might want. For example, if you were a veterinarian, you could create a section that would sit here that would be able to list all of the pets that you treat. You could include details, any details that you wanted, things like their name, their medical history, even pictures of the animals. And you could associate each of the pets with an existing contact in your contact section as well. We've even provided a list of pre-built templates that you can use in the industry template library here. And you can add any of these into ACT to really expand the functionality of your business. So we've got a lot of different functions in here, things like consulting, event planning, or project management. And we've also got different industries that we cater towards as well. So if you work in insurance, mortgages, or real estate, adding these custom tables to your database is really going to expand the functionality of the Standard ACT program hugely. Just to give an example of that, I had used the table called Project Planning. So if I just go to this, I'll be able to create any projects that I have. I can add them within here. And you can see on this screen, there is so much information that you can capture about your projects. And this is just one of the standard additional tables that you can add with the Custom Tables section of ACT. This can, again, be fully customized, so you can add in whatever details you want, but this will give a really excellent head start if you want to use any project management features of ACT. So really, with Custom Tables, whatever kind of information you want to record, track, or report on, Custom Tables will give you the ability to add anything like that into the database. It makes it so much more flexible than anything else. Okay, so we've covered off how easy it is to record all the data you need in order to manage those loyal, profitable relationships with your customers. We're going to move back into our presentation now, and we're just going to take a look at our next tip for growing your business. So I'll just get my presentation up. Okay, so here we're going to look at how ACT Growth Suite can optimize your marketing outreach. So ACT Growth Suite really enables everything from one-off email blasts to sophisticated response-driven nurture campaigns. The easy-to-use marketing automation tools include an interactive template designer and vast library of sample templates, which we're going to take a look at in a few minutes' time. We've got a visual workflow designer, which helps you to map out the perfect customer journey and, really importantly, to automate each step within that as well. We're going to see that demonstrate a little bit later on, but the automation is really key. That's how you're going to save time and therefore money through your business, by automating as much as possible. You also get real-time response metrics for an understanding of what's working and, importantly, how you can improve your strategy over time. And you get a workflow that fuses sales and marketing together, ensuring rapid follow-up on any hot leads that you might have too. Plus, marketing automation, it's not just about sending emails. You can build landing pages, surveys, lead forms. You can even know who's on your website and what they're looking at. Again, we're going to demonstrate some of that as we look at a live demo here. Okay, so we've discussed the marketing automation component of ACT Growth Suite, so we're going to move into a live demo now and take a look at this feature in a little bit more depth. So I'm within Growth Suite here, and I'm going to Marketing Automation on the left-hand side. Now, it's really easy to navigate around the workspace of Marketing Automation because it's directly built into the ACT program. Just to give myself a little bit more room to make it a bit easier to see, I'm just going to hide my navigation bar. So we're just in the Marketing Automation section here. So we're going to take a run through some of these different areas that you can see on the left-hand side and talk about exactly what they do and how it all works. So we're in the drip marketing section at the moment. Now, this is where you can build out your marketing campaigns. These could be really simple one-email blasts, or they can be multi-stage campaigns complete with intelligent decision stages. Let's take a look at one example now. When I open this campaign, we can see we've got a workflow here which will demonstrate exactly how this campaign is going to take place. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see a bit more detail. So the idea behind this is a multi-step campaign, and just to explain what's happening, if we work down the workflow here, we're going to see exactly how the campaign takes place. So obviously you can make things a bit simpler than this. You can make it far more complex if you want to. You are in full control over the complexity of your campaigns. Now let's just talk about what's going on here. So we're saying that when we start off this campaign, the first thing that's going to happen is an email is going to be sent to the contacts that we include in the campaign. We can, of course, customize exactly the content that will be included in that email template, and we'll take a look at that in a little while. Now, once that first email has been sent, Marketing Automation will automatically update a field in the ACT database advising that the campaign has been sent. I've chosen that action here. I've chosen which field I want to update. I've chosen exactly what I want it to say. Now, here's where it gets particularly clever. What I've chosen in my workflow here is for Marketing Automation to wait 7 days after sending the initial email and updating the field, and then the program itself is going to make a decision. It's going to look at whether each individual contact has opened the email that I've sent. If they have opened it after those 7 days, it's going to automatically complete a linked field in ACT to tell me that they've opened it. That's really useful for reporting. It'll be really easy to identify whether or not at a glance those contacts have actually opened the email that I sent out. If they have not opened the email, it's going to automatically resend that first email to them. Now let's just spend a couple of minutes thinking about how much time and effort we're saving with this very simple campaign. If you weren't using Marketing Automation, how long do you think it would take to find all of the contacts that you emailed and then manually update a field here? How long would it take to run a report to find out who did or did not open up the email? And that's assuming it's even possible to get that information. Then you'd have to separate out who did or did not open it. Then you'd have to update the field again individually for all those who did and resend individually for all those who didn't. Just thinking about that, that's a huge amount of time that you'd be wasting there. But with Marketing Automation, you can very quickly and easily automate all of those steps, saving you a huge amount of time. And just a couple of things that we've demonstrated here, that's far from all that it can do. You can have Marketing Automation perform different types of decisions. So it could be based on whether your contacts have clicked on links within the email rather than just opening it. You could even have it perform different decisions based on which specific links in your email that they've clicked on. You can have it automatically create activities, create calls with the contacts, give you notifications, even create opportunities automatically as well. The functionality available is really, really extensive. It saves you as much time, effort, and therefore expense as it possibly can. There's even a new calendar view that we've added that can help see all of your campaigns at the same time. So you can see everything that you've got on the go. You can see when every email in those campaigns will be sent out, which makes it especially easy to manage all of your drip marketing campaigns as well. So that's just an example of how powerful a feature this is, how much time you can save, how much it can do automatically for you. Now, we mentioned that you can fully customize any emails that you send. You can do this by going into the template section that we've got here. Now, you can build your own templates from scratch if you want, or you can pick from a selection of over 20 existing templates to help give you a bit of a head start. Now, here's an example of a template that we've created earlier. So just whilst this is opening up, this editor uses what we call the drag and drop editor here. And the principle is very, very simple. You are literally dragging and dropping the content onto the template that you want to use. So just taking a look at this specific one, you can see we've done quite a bit of customization here. I've included my own logo. I've got my own picture here. I've even got an embedded video that when I send out this template, the recipients will be able to tap and see the video content within my email. We've included links to our website. We've got links to social media accounts as well. The amount of customization you can do is practically endless. So as I mentioned before, this is what we call the drag and drop editor. So if I want to add in additional content, let's say I want to add in some text perhaps, I can literally click and drag this into the appropriate place on my template, click into that, and amend the information in there. It's just that simple to do. In terms of the content I can add in text, images, buttons, I can add in links to my social media, embedded videos, and more there as well. Now, this is what we expect most people to be using for most of their campaigns, because you want to really impress people as much as possible when you're sending out those emails. Make them memorable, make them stand out, make sure that people understand it comes from you when they receive it. But there may be occasions where you want to send slightly simpler emails. If I just return back to my list of email templates here. So perhaps you've asked people to sign up to a newsletter or something similar, and you want to send out just maybe a text-based template saying thank you very much for signing up. You can do that as well. So this one is a sales template. I was looking at a marketing template before. I'm looking at a sales template here. If I open that up, using that sales template editor, you can very quickly and easily create text-based templates like I've done here. So these would be more appropriate for acknowledgement emails, and they appear as if they were sent from any other email provider or from Outlook. So when people receive it, it'll look just like they've sent that email to you themselves. So that's quite a nice thing to be able to do, to just get that little quick and easy templates out, as well as your more fancy templates from the drag and drop editor too. Now, on top of that, if you're using the Premier or Ultimate tiers of Act Growth Suite, you can also get access to the HTML editor that we see here. Now, for anybody who is HTML savvy, this would allow you to create your own completely bespoke email templates by amending the HTML code right here. It also means that if you've created your own templates in the past using another HTML editing program, you'd be able to either directly import those templates into Marketing Automation or copy and paste any of your HTML code right into the email here as well. So that really makes it as flexible as possible. If you do know somebody or have someone who works in your business that is savvy with HTML, this means it is incredibly flexible in terms of the templates you can create. Okay, now that we've taken a look at some of the various templates that we can use, we're going to move on to look at what we call landing pages. Now, a landing page is an online form that you can create to capture information and pull it directly into your Act database automatically, again, saving you a lot of time here. Now, this is extremely useful if you want to find new prospects as quickly and easily as possible, again, helping your business to grow automatically. So once your landing page is set up, all you need to do is direct online traffic towards it, and you'll be automatically receiving new prospects or leads into your database without any further work. When they sign up, their details go into Act. You don't have to add them yourself manually. You're getting that information, you'll get a notification about it, and you'll be able to see those new prospects coming into your database automatically. We take a bit of a look at this landing page now. Now, you'll see it has quite a similar workflow look that we saw in the drip marketing section. We'll come back and talk about that in a little bit, but for now, I just wanted to give you a preview of what this particular form looks like. Now, as you can see in this particular landing page, we're just trying to capture quite basic information here. We've got the contact's full name, the email address, company name, phone number as well. But everything that you can see on the screen right here is, again, fully customizable. So you can change the colors of this particular template and any of the pictures that you have on screen. I've got a couple of logos. You can change that to whatever you want it to be. You can change the questions that you want to ask as well. Now, that's the most important thing. So the questions we've got here, these are just a couple of examples, but you can create whichever questions that you want to ask. And you can make your questions mandatory or optional. And crucially, every field that you add can be directly mapped back to your Act database. So, for example, if you were looking for leads on new products that you were selling, you could have a drop-down field appearing on this form where the prospect could directly choose exactly what they are interested in. And that would map back automatically to a field in ACT. So whenever anybody fills in this form, not only are you going to get their details, you're also going to capture straight away what they're actually interested in. So before you ever call them up or have any correspondence with them, you already know what you want to talk about. There's other things that you can do with these forms as well. If you have contacts in Europe, perhaps, and you're concerned about GDPR, you could create a mandatory consent field that, again, links back to your ACT database. So you can prove that the prospect explicitly gave you consent to hold their data, something really, really important when you're working with any European contacts. Now, when you create your landing pages, you're provided with a link at the bottom that we can see here. That's automatically generated. Now, I can add that link to anywhere that I want to. So I might put it on my website, I might add it into my social media, and then any new prospect that comes across it can enter their details, and as I said, you'll receive their data into your ACT database automatically. That's a huge time saver, and it's an excellent way of expanding and growing your prospect base. Now, on top of that, if we go back to this workflow design here, it's possible to have a whole range of actions take place, again, automatically once your contacts have completed the form. So, for instance, I could have them automatically added into a drip marketing campaign. I could have an automatically scheduled call or other activity to discuss their interest. And I can even add decision steps like we saw earlier. So I could have the program perform different actions depending on how they filled out that form. For instance, if they expressed interest in product 1, I could have a salesperson call them up to discuss product 1. But if they're interested in product 2, I could have that call scheduled with a different user who's maybe more familiar with product 2. So there's a massive amount of possibility just within the landing page section as well. Now I'm going to talk about the last couple of areas a little bit briefly so that we can move on with the presentation. We've got the web activity section here, and that allows you to see the results from all of your initiatives. So this would include tracking page views on your own website if you want to. So you can view who is actually using your website right now in real time, and which of the specific pages on your website receive the most traffic. Now this could be useful when determining where to add links to your landing pages. You can make sure that you're going to add your link to an area of your site that receives the most visits, and therefore that's going to increase the chances of new prospects signing up. Finally, we're going to take a look at the assets section here as well. Now this is a really useful section as it allows you to create assets that you might want to use within your email campaigns. You can create assets for websites, YouTube videos, and PDF files. Now, whilst you can include those things normally in any email template anyway, if you create them as an asset instead, marketing automation is able to track the interactions with those specific assets, including showing me how many times they've been viewed or how long people typically spend looking at them. On top of that, you can organize your assets however you like. So you can get metrics back on the usage of the individual asset. You can get metrics back on assets that you've added to a particular program. Perhaps you could get information back on all of the assets you've added to Twitter versus all of the assets that you've added to Facebook. There's an awful lot that you can do in terms of capturing that information there as well. If we take a look at this individual asset that I've added here, the way it works is that you'll get a URL, which again you can use wherever you want. And whenever anybody accesses the asset by clicking the URL, so in this case, they've clicked the URL and access my PDF, then you'll be able to track that information. You'll be able to track how many people have looked at it or what they've done in terms of interacting with it. So in terms of organizing those assets, you might want to compare how all of your Twitter-based assets perform against all of the assets that you add to Facebook. Or perhaps I want to compare the success of my assets for this year's summer campaign versus last year's campaign. So again, I'm getting really valuable information in terms of how my business is performing, what's useful, what's working, what's not working so well, what can I do to change that. Finally, you can even prompt the viewers to complete a lead form when they've made it so far through a PDF or a video. Using this one as an example here, when I click the link, it will open up my PDF. Now, I've set this up so that when I get to page 3 of this PDF, it's going to prompt me to fill out a lead form before I can continue. So I'm scrolling down, I get to page 3, and my lead form is automatically popping up here. So you can see it's prompted the reader to enter their details in order to continue. Now this is an excellent way of whetting a prospect's appetite, making it far more likely that they'll submit their contact details to you. And when they do, of course, those details are again going automatically into your ACT database, and then you can continue to contact or get in touch with the contact from there. So this, again, a really, really useful thing to be able to do in terms of capturing that prospective data and hopefully turning them into customers. Okay, so now that we've thoroughly explored marketing automation, we're going to take a look at our third and final tip to help grow your business with ACT Growth Suite. Just going to go back into my presentation again. So the final building block is effectively driving new opportunities through your sales pipeline to a close. You want to capture all of the details of your opportunity, of your sales leads, and apply a pre-built sales process or one you create to fit your business needs. Again, ACT is fully customizable in that way. We give you some examples that you can use to start off, but you can fully customize exactly how your sales processes work within your business, and you can customize ACT to fit in with those. Now, the pipeline view, that's quite a recent innovation that we've added. That gives you a visual representation of all of your open deals, which will help you to project your revenue, uncover any issues that you might have, and quickly adjust your strategy. And there's a simple drag and drop tool to help you advance deals through your pipeline stages as well. All of that's really to help monitor the deals that you've got on the go. So you'll be able to get a really good observation of the deals that you've got, where they're currently sat in terms of your sales pipeline, and how you can move them on from there. You can also go deeper with interactive dashboards for actionable business insights, which covers a wide range of sales, marketing, and business performance metrics as well. So for our last live demo, we're going to jump back into ACT, and we'll take a look at that opportunities section. Let me just close this down, expand out a little bit, and I'm going into my opportunities section of ACT now. So the opportunity section is where you can record all of your potential sales in ACT. And you can record them right from that initial lead all the way up to the completion of the sale. You can record when the sale began. You can record the exact products or services involved in the sale. You can see how much each individual sale is worth or report on all of your sales. And you can attach the sales to contacts in your database. You can record exactly how far along your sales process each particular sale is. Again, there's a huge amount of information that you get in the grips with here. And as before, all of this is fully customizable as well. You can add your own fields, you can create your own specific sales processes and stages to monitor how you sell your products, and lots more. In our list view here, we've even got KPIs that sit at the top. So you're getting some key information right in front of your eyes, and this will change as you manage your opportunities. So as you close them, as you add new ones, you'll be able to see all of this changing whilst you go along. You can even customize this and create your own KPIs if you want to. Now, if I take a look at one of the opportunities that I've got set up here, I'll go into that and we'll take a look at a little bit more detail. Now, as you can see, this is an open opportunity, so it's ongoing. And you can see the different products that I've got that I'm selling here. You can see the sales process that I'm using and how far along it is, what stage it's currently at. And there's even fields to record the total based on the products and services, and the weighted total as well. That's based on how likely I think it is that this particular opportunity will close. Very, very useful for forecasting purposes. But all of this really means that you can control exactly what is going on with each of your sales. When we've mentioned the process and stage, this helps you to record in your specific business how a sale progresses. So we've just got an example here. We're saying that in our particular business, we usually do the initial communication, we proceed to assessing their needs, we do a presentation, and so on and so forth. Your business might operate in a very different way, but you can create whatever stages you want, and then you can record exactly where each sale is and where it needs to go to from there. Now, one of the newer innovations in ACT is the pipeline view for your opportunities. So we're going to take a look at that now. Now, this is really excellent for giving you a visual representation of the current status of your open opportunities that you have. So you've got very handy and fully customizable KPI displays here that puts the key information you need right at your fingertips again. The Kanban board at the bottom of the display shows the current status of those open opportunities and makes it very easy to get both the overall picture and to help move your opportunities to different stages. So for example, I've got this opportunity here and I've done some work on that. If I want to move that to a different stage, I can do so within the individual opportunity. But if I'm looking at my overall view here, I can simply click and drag this into the next section here and move it along in the various stages of my sales process. Very, very quick, very simple to do. And having that information in front of me, it means that I get a really good overall picture of what's going on. At a glance, I can say, okay, these are all the ones I've got in my initial communication. These are all the ones in the needs assessment. I can maybe point to my users and tell them to go and work on any of these if I see anything that's important in here. Just by clicking on the little arrow, I'm getting a little bit more information. So if I see maybe something that's worth an awful lot of money, I can make sure that I'm on top of that and I'm managing this in as efficient a way as I possibly can. Just by clicking on the individual opportunities within the pipeline view as well, that'll jump into my detail view so I can look at it a bit further. So if I was to do that now, click on that opportunity, it's going to open back up in that detail view. So it really, really helps it to make it really easy to manage all my opportunities. Now, to finish off our live demo today, I'm going to go into the Insight section of ACT that we've got here. Now, the Insight section provides interactive and easy-to-understand dashboards that give an excellent visual representation as to the performance of your own business. The one that we're looking at here, this view is called the Key Insights view. So the Insight section comes with 4 different views that you can see, again, right out of the box. We've got the Key Insights view, which will show you information about your opportunity section. So we've got metrics such as your potential versus actual sales. We've got the amount of days in average that you spend in each of your stages. And in the competitive advantage here, we've even got the reasons behind any sales that you've lost. So that would make it really easy to identify any negative trends that you might have and fix them. So if you can see that you're regularly losing sales to the competition or because of budgetary reasons, it gives you an idea of what's going wrong, and that means that you can look at fixing that. The other views that we've got, these are based around your user sales performance. You've got your activities as well with any of your customer interactions, and you've got data on your campaign metrics. Now, this is to do with marketing automation, and this is a new view that's been added. If we take a look at this one now, you can see easily understood charts showing you the results of your campaigns in the top left there, the number of opportunities that have been generated by those campaigns, and the total value of those opportunities there as well. Each of the views that you've got can be fully customized. You can even create your own views. If you want to capture your own information and you want to look at maybe several different areas of the program at once, you can certainly do that by adding your own view and creating your own custom charts in here. But using the Insight section will mean that you get a really good visual idea of what's going on with your business. You've got that information right in front of you at all times, and that's going to make it much easier to identify those important trends to help your business to grow. Okay, that about does it for the live demonstrations that we've got today. Now, before we take a look at some of the more common questions that we've received, we're going to discuss some of the most recent innovations you can find within ACT right now. We've just released version 21.1, so there are quite a few things to make you aware of. Now, ACT has evolved over the last several years to include a number of innovative features and tools designed to help small and mid-sized businesses to grow. With this spring 2019 launch, we introduced ACT Growth Suite. We introduced a number of new marketing automation tools and compatibility updates, and we're going to cover those quite shortly. So if you're using an older version of ACT, you may be missing out on quite a few innovations like your dynamic sales pipeline management, your interactive ACT Insight dashboards, and your next generation Outlook integration. There's an awful lot of things that we've done over the last few years. One of the key ones is keeping up to date with modern technology in terms of Windows versions, Office versions as well. In order to use the most recent features, you really need to be on the most recent version of ACT. So we would encourage anybody to take a look at act.com/what's new, which will give you a full list of the things that you may be missing. Now, specific to marketing automation, you can see on the screen right now 3 features that we touched on a bit in our live demonstrations. The calendar view we mentioned. Now, this allows you to see all of the campaigns that you have on the go and when every email in those campaigns will be sent. And that makes it really easy to manage all of the campaigns that you might have on the go at the same time. The Insights section includes that new view that shows your marketing automation dashboards, including information on your campaign results, the opportunities that have been generated from your campaigns, and the value of those opportunities as well. And finally, the asset tracking in marketing automation allows you to pull information on how successful your PDFs, YouTube videos, or website views are performing. And it even helps you to capture leads using that lead form as well. Now, we've also introduced some new compatibility and integration updates as well. ACT is now fully compatible with Microsoft Office 2019 and Windows Server 2019 as well. Now, in addition, we mentioned that Growth Suite can be used to integrate with Outlook. So when you send out emails through Outlook, you can automatically capture those within Growth Suite as well. Now, if you're using the cloud version or web version, you could only set up that integration through Internet Explorer in the past. That's no longer true. We've added that same functionality to Google Chrome. So if you're using Chrome, you've now got full Office integration functionality when you're using the web product as well. Now, for anybody who's new to ACT and maybe migrating from a different CRM system, we've introduced the Getting Started wizard, which helps you to easily migrate data from a whole range of different sources. The key ones I want to highlight here are some very big CRM programs: Salesforce.com, Microsoft Dynamics, Zoho CRM, Sugar CRM, and Pipedrive. If you currently use any one of those and you're thinking, well, I'd like to make a change, but I'm a bit worried about getting my data out, that seems like it'll be a very difficult process. It's really not anymore. With this new Getting Started wizard, all you need to do is insert the details of your current CRM, and we'll be able to pull that data directly into ACT. So you won't have to go to Excel and then back into ACT and make it all messy. You'll be able to go straight from one of those CRM programs directly into ACT. So if you are considering a change, now's really the best time than ever before to do so, because it's such an easy process now. We've also looked at improving the migration from Excel, CSVs, and Outlook as well. So wherever your data is, getting it into ACT is now easier than it ever has been before. Last few things that I want to mention: we have a mobile app called ACT Companion, and we've got a new release to that, which is a convenient business card reader, which makes it really easy to add new contacts on the fly. And when you're using ACT Companion, that links into your live ACT database, so anything you do within Companion will be seen within the database itself, so anybody else in the office will be able to see that. So if you meet somebody new and you want to add that contact into your database, if they've given you a business card, all you need to do is get your phone out, open up the app, and you'll be able to scan that business card and put those details directly into ACT straight away for you. And as I say, that will go straight into your live ACT database. Now, that's just one feature that we've introduced recently, but we've got some exciting features planned that are coming up ahead in the next month, including heat maps that we've got here. So you can easily see any customers in your proximity, or perhaps you're taking a business trip somewhere and you want to find out, are there any contacts close by? You can find that on your map. Tap on the screen, you'll be able to set how wide a radius you want to search for, and it will show all of your contacts within that radius. You can tap on those orange balls to get some more directions directly to them, or contact details from there as well. And that companion is also going to include a new groups view shortly as well. So anybody who hasn't used it yet, ACT Companion has made huge leaps and bounds since it was first released. We are changing that all the time and adding as much functionality as possible to make it really, really useful. So it is a free app to use with ACT, and it's something that we really do recommend using. It's improving all the time as well. Okay, now we've come to the end of our presentation. I'm going to turn it over to Joe briefly and just see, have there been any questions that have come up that would like to maybe raise with the whole group? Or perhaps not. If there are no questions that we've had, gents, then we can move on from here. If there are any to raise, then please do so. But other than that, we'd just like to encourage everybody to check out the new ACT Growth Suite. That's our all-in-one sales and marketing platform with everything that you need to grow your business. We've got the various phone numbers along the bottom. If you did want to call for any special pricing that you might want to discuss, then please do so. Or you can visit www.act.com for more information as well. We will stay on the line for a while now, so if you do want to share anything in the Q&A panel, then please do so. And if we do have anything from Brent or Joe who wants to raise any questions here, then please feel free. Otherwise, thank you very much for attending today's webinar. I really hope you found it useful, that you enjoy using Act Growth Suite. Thank you very much.